Good day, friends. This is a voice-only video because a face is just a distraction. First of all, thank you for being here. The past is gone. The past only exists because you can remember it. The key notion is that the past cannot be changed. It is gone. It only lives in your brain. If you did not remember it, it wouldn't be there. You can change your reaction to your past, but not the past event itself. In a chronological timeline, does not and cannot exist anymore. The effects that our past has on our today is limited to and dependent only on how the past has impacted our mental footprint. This is to say that we can determine the impact of our past on our present conditions only when we acknowledge that we can control the direction taken by our thoughts. If we can assimilate the first principle that thoughts can be mastered, the past will not creep on us uninvited. The past is long behind us. It does not and cannot exist anymore, except in your imagination. Distancing yourself from your past, if you so desire, requires forgiveness. We'll see more about that later. The past cannot be reenacted, and it will not come to the forefront of your consciousness unless you summon it. And if uninvited, it cannot stay unless you allow it to. All this is to signify that the management of your past is entirely up to you. Present-day philosophies like mindfulness and New Age are present-centered, believe in the here and now. I believe, though, that simply ignoring the past as apparent with the new philosophies is not really the same thing as consciously going beyond our past, letting it go, and result in our life journey. We can, and actually should, derive great teachings from our history and have wonderful memories. We should choose the events of the past that we want back into our present, relegating to the less accessible long-term memory the pain back in our past. It is wonderful to remind ourselves that our past shapes who we are, but let us not allow it to shape who we are now. Let us not allow it to shape our present. Let us not recall the painful episodes all the time we are faced with difficulties. When in times of trouble, why do we resort to reliving the pain? Why recall the anguish that sinks us deeper into our funk? What is the purpose of recalling past painful events to no avail? The painful lessons we learned and shaped who we are have absolutely no benefits to us. And ours recalling them is fruit of a habit more than a conscious will. The immediate result is that all the overthinking and rumination only leads to reiterating the original suffering and heartbreak. We are unable to move away from what we know best. At times, our known pain seems more comforting than an unknown willingness to emerge and change, easier than leaving our comfort zone. Doesn't mean that we prefer to reenact our past suffering instead of trying to free ourselves from the past pain. Could very well be. I'm a firm believer that to be compassionate and empathic, we need to be able to suffer first and have compassion and empathy for ourselves. Then comes the forgiveness and the ability to move on. But nevertheless, when we do not let go of our past, we are choosing to suffer. We are behaving in an apparent, counterintuitive manner because no matter how dark and dreadful the past was, we survived it, and we know that we can survive it again. Every time we resort to the known past painful events, we are seeking certainties. We fall back to painful behaviors, and we beat ourselves over it in guilt. Our known demon is inexplicably better than the unknown angel. This is where the forgiveness must step in the game. You can choose to let go of your past, or you can choose to suffer. If you choose to let go of your past, meaning if you choose to heal, You will have to stare at the moment where you have knowingly looked into the painful past. This fundamentally means, as harsh as it sounds, that you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You have to stop believing you're the sole person who has been served a crab sandwich. Stare at the helpless feeling coming from the past and see what they are teaching you. Look and observe. It is the universe telling you that it doesn't have to be that way. You can analyze the recurring instances where the past comes back to bite you in the bum. Just be present and acknowledge what is happening. Don't judge yourself. Just look. When you realize, and I promise you will realize, that you are choosing to let a past pain back in the present, you have made a choice. If you make a choice, it means that you realize you have the possibility to choose. And if you have the possibility to choose, you could have made a different choice. You could have taken a different decision. This epiphany will let you realize that you have a choice. Change cannot happen until you are aware of having the possibility of choosing. You will crave the known waters, but you will also know that a change is possible. And a change will mean you can improve your life and the way you feel. You can build a productive pattern, a pattern of positive reinforcements. You will act with more enthusiasm the moment you see results. You can choose the past suffering, but you don't have to. You can choose something else just as easily. Become the driver of your car of life. Steer it in the direction you want it to go. Get into a deep relationship with yourself, and I know it will take you to a wonderful place because you are a wonderful individual. This is Motivation in the Dark, and that is all I have for you. Thank you. If you appreciate this channel, please consider subscribing.